Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Maricita Colors in English. Today we will have a lección of knitting. I made this thread with the needle number 5 and the yarn is a little thick. It's like a rombo in English or in Spanish. So we will learn to make this nice stitch. I use the garter stitch, punto Santa Clara or punto bobo en español. It's the same that I made here. Soon I will make this pattern. It's a scarf. This is the reverse. And it's very nice. So now I will show you this stitch. Here I have 22. I will make the same number of stitches. You can combine and use all the colors and yarns. The preference is that you must use the yarn of the same size. So for this pattern, I will use today the needles number 8 and the yarns a little thick too. So welcome to my channel. I am Maricita Colors in English. First, I will make with this yellow yarn, it's acrylic. I will make the pattern. You can use for sweaters, for headbands, beanies. I will need to hook another needle for pass the stitches. I will calculate 22 stitches. How I calculate? The yarn over the needle, and I will involve 22 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. I let a little more, and from here I don't let the yarn, but I let this from the needle. And here I will make 22 stitches. I help me with my hand. We insert into the center of the yarns. We bring to the front the needle, and from the left to the right, and we bring to the front. We let free the finger, and now I have 2 stitches. I repeat. I catch the yarn, bring the needle to the front, from the left to the right, we bring to the center. And we have 3 stitches. Like this, I will make 22 times. 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17, 18, 18, 19, 20, 20, 21, and 22 stitches. I will make the garter stitch. The garter stitch is the knit stitch in the front and in the reverse. How is the knit stitch? The first stitch is from the left to the right, the needle down. This is here in front, then the right needle in the back. The yarn we bring into the center. This needle is back and catch the yarn. This is a knit stitch. I repeat, from left to the right, I can pull a little here the yarns for that is secure. And we begin to make the knit stitch. Knit stitch en Spanish, punto derecho. So I will make 2 rows with the knit stitch. This is a nice stitch or design that you can use for all. The last stitch, I pull a little, and now I will turn, and this is the reverse for me. I will make the same, the knit stitch, but from here, the first stitch I don't make, only I pass. This is for that my border is uniform. And from here we continue making the knit stitch. With these needles it's more easy to show you where goes the stitches. Stitches punto en español. Needle, agujas en español. Yarn, hilo en español. Wool, lana en español. Cotton, algodón en español. Look, the last stitch I make, I bring, we back the needle and ready. When the yarn of the begin is in the right side, for me, this is the front of the work. You can choose both sides, but for me, this is the more nice. Okay, here I will start to make the design. For begin, I make 4 stitches with this rose color. So I have here 22. Less the 4 stitches are 18. 18 between 2 parts are 9 stitches. So I will make 9 knit stitches. The first stitch we pass and we make 9 knit stitches. And I will begin to change the color. 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 and 9, 9 puntos. Now with the another yarn, we must make again 4 knit stitches. Here is the yarn. I cut here in the back, I bring into the center and I make 1 stitch. Make the second, third and fourth. You can let a little more for sew when you make your thread. Now that I have the 4, here I must have 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9. So you always will check that in both sides in the same row you must have the same number of stitches. This is the way that you can notice that your work is correct, is uniform. Now with the yellow, I will continue making the 9 knit stitches, but look, you don't must make tight. You must let the space to these stitches. Don't pull. And here I begin. You can make a little, but not so strong. And we repeat the 9 knit stitches or garter stitch. And we begin with the design. Now in the reverse, we must repeat all the stitches, only that here is a little variation. I will show you. We repeat the 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 y 9. We bring the yarn to the front, and with the rose color you can pass like this, for that is like a cross of the yarns. And here I don't make knit stitches. Here I must make the purl stitch, punto revés en español. The purl stitch is from the right to the left. We involve the yarn or the needle with the yarn, and the yarn is into the front. We back the yarn or the needle and catch the yarn, and this go and ready. This is the purl stitch, punto revés. Here I make the another or the last. Maybe here you can make a canot, for that is secure. And here I find the 9 yellow stitches. So I must make here the knit stitch. And the yarn from here must go to here. But first, look, for the knit I must have the yarn into the back. Don't make tight, only a little loose. And here we begin to make the 9 knit stitches, los 9 puntos derechos. For us, the derecho is like the front too. It's the same in Spanish. Here I make the last knit stitch. And here we begin to make the cross. Is a little similar like the cable stitch, punto trenza en español. So here I have 9 stitches, but one stitch will be here into the center, one stitch from the right will be here in the center, and one stitch from the left will be here too. So here I have 9 yellow, I will make 8 knit stitches. The first we pass, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It's easy, only you must let one before the rose color. Here with another needle, a hook I have here, I will pass the stitch to the hook and I will make into the back. The stitch must be in the back. And here with the needles in the front, I will make the 2 rose color, 2 knit stitches. We make the 2 and the stitch yellow we pass again to the needle of the left, la izquierda en español, and with the yellow color I will make 1 knit stitch and not pull, a little loose. Now I pass 1 stitch from the right to the center, and now I must make the same, but in the opposite. These 2 stitches, the rows, I will pass into the front, and I will make 1 knit stitch. And the 2 roses pass again to the needle of the left. And now I have the 2 stitches in the center of the rose color. Sorry, here I must make 2 knit stitches, not pull. We make the 2, and here I will make the yellow. 2, 4, 6, 8. Here is the yarn. I can make like a little cross, the yarn, and I must make the stitches that I find. In the left part is easy, only we must make the stitches that we find. We turn the crochet or the knitting work, and I must repeat all the stitches like we make in the previous row in the reverse. We repeat only. The change of the colors or the stitches will be only in the front of my work. Now that I find the roses, I bring the yarn to the front, and the yarn, the yellow, is over the rose, for that is a little together in the thread. And here I must make 2 purl stitches. In the reverse, always we make the purl stitches. I make like this for that my stitch is more nice. Now I must make the 2 knit stitches. For make the knit, I pass the yarn into the back, and we make 2 knit stitches. Yarn into the front, and I will make with the rose color 2 purl stitches. 2 puntos revés. And we must make the rest of the knit stitches. We pass the yarn to the back and we make the stitches that we find. So this is all the work that we must repeat. Again, here I have 8 stitches, so I must let one because we must pass into the center. So I will make 7 knit stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 y 7. 7. And we must repeat. We catch the stitch, 1, we make into the back, the needles are into the front, and we will make 2 knit stitches with the rose color. The yellow stitch passes into the needle of the left, and we must make the knit stitch. We must find the yarn. 1, 2, 3, and we repeat here. The 2 roses to the front, and we pass 1 yellow stitch to the center. Again, the stitches into the needle of the left, the roses, and with the rose, we must go from here to here, so we don't pull. We make 1 and 2 knit stitches, and we must make the rest. Here I have 2, 4, 6, 7, and here I have the same number, 7. So here only I will make the 7 knit stitches, 7. So we pass 1 stitch from the left and from the right to the center, only for the front. And look, this is like a B. We turn the knitting work and we repeat all the stitches. This is in the reverse, only we make the same. The stitches that we find. Los puntos que encontramos. Here I bring the yarn to the front with the rose. I make like a cross like this, for that the thread is together. And here I must make 2 purl stitches, 2 puntos revés. And with the yellow I make the 4, the yarn into the back, and we make the garter stitch in the center of my design. Yarn to the front, and with the rose we make 2 purl stitches, and here the yarn into the back for make the knit stitches, los puntos derechos. Vamos a hacer así. So little to little is more stitches here in the center. Now I will make 2, 4, 6 stitches, 6 knit stitches. When we find one yellow stitch, we pass into the needle or hook and we put into the back of the thread, and here I will make 2 knit stitches with the rose color. Again, we pass the yellow stitch to the left needle and we must make all knit stitches. And when I find the roses, I pass into the hook to the front, and here only I make 1 stitch. So we pass 1 of every side. And now with the rose color, we must make 2 knit stitches. Look, the yarn goes from here to here. So a little loose, not tight. And here with the yellow, we finish the knit stitches that we find. So you can make your own design that you prefer. The important is that in every row you must have the same number of stitches in both sides. Here I have 6 yellow and here I have 6 yellows too. In the center I have 6. And now I have a Bine Maya inside of my house. Okay, here in the reverse only we repeat all the stitches. Here I pass the yarn to the front and with the rose color we make the purl stitches, 2 puntos revés. The yarn in the front and here the yarn in the back, and we make the knit stitches that we find. Hola Carlita, hello, thank you for write. Welcome. Now I have the 6 knit stitches, the yarn to the front, and with the rose color I will make 2 purl stitches, and the yarn is not so tight. And here first I must pass the yarn to the front and the yarn to the back, the yellow, and I will make the knit stitches that I find. In the reverse is easy. In the front too. And look, little to little, we have more stitches here in the center. Now I will make the last row that I will make the stitches into the center. This is the last row. The first we pass. Always we must let only 1 yellow stitch for pass to the center. Now we pass to the back, the stitch, the needles in the front, and we make 2 knit stitches. The stitch goes to the left needle and we make all the knit stitches that I find. Now I must pass one stitch yellow to the center. We pass the 2 roses to the front and we make one knit stitch. We pass again the rose stitches to the left needle and with the here is the yarn. Now the yarn must go from here to here. So not so tight for give the place to these stitches. And here only we make the same stitches that we find with the yellow yarn. Color amarillo, hilo amarillo, yellow yarn. Now in the center I have 8 stitches and in every side I have 5. 5 stitches in the right and 5 stitches in the left. So like this you can see that your thread is correct. We turn and we repeat all the stitches. First I will make this for that the yarns are not together. Okay, we make the 5 knit stitches. We bring the yarn to the front, we make the cross here, and I must make 2 purl stitches, 1 and 2 purl stitches, and again with the yellow color I pass to the back and I will make the 8 knit stitches. 8 puntos derechos. 8. Yarn to the front and with the rows I must make 2 purl stitches. With the yellow yarn to the back and I will make the 5 knit stitches. And ready. Now I must make out one by one the stitches from the center to the right and to the left. I will make one and into the next lesson I will show you how I make the cross, this cross. But I will show you here how you must make the stitches out. We make the 5 knit stitches, yellow, and now I want to make one out, so we must make the opposite. We make the 2 roses to the front and I will make out 1 knit stitch, again the roses to the left needle, and I will make the 2 roses. And now I have 1 stitch in the right side. Before I have 5 and now I have 6. The same I will make here. Here we make all the stitches that we find less 1. We must make out 1 stitch. So here, this last stitch we will pass to the hook. We make into the back of my work and with the rose color I must go from here to here and a little loose, not so tight. And we pass the yarn or the stitch to the left side. And now with the yellow color, we begin to make the knit stitches. And ready. We start to make one stitch of every side out of the center. Now in the center I have six stitches, and in every side I have 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. This is the form that you see that your work is correct. And little to little this will close like this. After this I will make the cross and I will begin the same. But this we will make into the next class. In the reverse, you know that we must repeat the same. So here is very nice too, both sides. Okay, my dear friends, I hope that you like this video. Before I finish, I want to invite you to subscribe. Here in my channel is total free. Remember that you must activate the bell for that you receive the post when I have a new video here in my channel. You can find me too in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. And if you like this video, you can give one like and share it with your family and friends. Thank you very much to all the persons that always write me, like Carla. Thank you, Carlita. Muchas gracias. And we see us in my next lesson for show you how we make the cross. Thank you. Muchas gracias, mis amigos. Nos vemos hasta la próxima. We see us soon. Ciao, ciao. Thank you. Ciao, Carlita. Thank you.